And now Shohei's like, it's even our favorite player. It's everyone's favorite player is Shohei. Then obviously 2022 All-Star game, he got to meet Shohei for the first time. 36-year-old old first baseman that lumbers around the bases. You know?
Because I remember when we were kind of coming up, it was like guys, for the most part, were dropping off 40, 45. Now you got guys hitting 50. Shohei's done it 2 years in a row.
Like Shohei's bat's huge, you know, like and like he swings it like a toothpick, and I would never be able to swing it like him.
速報です。MLB 屈指の人気スター、ドジャースのフレディ・フリーマン選手が大谷翔平選手を
俺たちの推し
と呼び現地で一気に話題になっています。さらに
大谷は激重のバットを爪楊枝みたいに振る
とまで言い切って大谷愛をぶっちゃけました。この発言がヤバい理由、そしてフリーマン選手の本音、まとめて一気にご覧ください。
I found this interesting, so I got to see it with Ryan's kid, and you are who you are. You're great. You have all these accomplishments that you've made, but you walk in the clubhouse and you're just that.
Yeah.
And your kids have favorite players, and as on the outside, we're like, oh, your dad has to be your favorite player, right? Do you know who your dad is? And they're just like, yeah, whatever. I see this dude every day.
Yeah.
Shane Victorino was Darian's favorite player. Started switch hitting, stopped switch hitting when Shane decided to stop, all that. And I'm like, bro, like, you chose Shane over your dad? Like, what are you doing? No, look, no slight to Shane, that's my little brother, but that's come on, bro. Who are your kids' favorite players?
Okay, yeah, so it seems to change every year. Like, I think it's more of the cover of MLB The Show is a big
that's a big influence.
Big influence, big avenue. Obviously, probably 5-6 years ago, it was all Fernando Tatis Jr. Then obviously 2022 All-Star game, he got to meet Shohei for the first time. And so now Shohei's like, it's even our favorite player, you know, like it's everyone's favorite player is Shohei. But I would say who Brandon and Max talk about is Freddie Freeman, because they can't really. Dad and Freddie Freeman they don't really they haven't really got it figured out yet. Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, those are the names they can say.
Okay.
And so I would say Mookie, Shohei for Brandon and Max, and Charlie he loves like Ellie De La Cruz, like guys that can run fast, they can do all the tools, you know, like exciting players, the young like Bobby Witt Jr., like Charlie loves those guys. So but Charlie knows everybody. So we do the game called MLB Pickle, and where have you seen it? It's on the MLB app. You got to guess the player by certain clues. Like we always start with me, and then it'll say like if it's in the NL East or AL Central, and you got to guess. And it is amazing, Charlie getting guys that, like last night's shout out Colson Montgomery, the shortstop. Like Charlie got him. I was like, dude, this guy came up with 2 months to go last year. And like he just loves the game of baseball. So it's interesting. It changes every year, but I would say the exciting 5-tool players, I think is what the younger generation kind of grow toward. And seeing Ellie hit a ball 500 feet, throw it 100 miles an hour, stealing home, doing all kinds of crazy things. I think that's what, the younger generation kind of goes, not the 36-year-old old first baseman that lumbers around the bases,
Yeah, that's tough to frown upon on that when you can throw 100 from wherever and then go catch it yourself. So
it's just fun to watch too, because we're fans, we're all fans of baseball. We love the game, and seeing these guys doing what they're doing, like Aaron Judge hitting 55 home runs and hitting 330 and playing outfield. Cal catching every day, hitting 60 home runs. It's like, it's mind blowing to me. It's just.
What's the thought there, right? Because I remember when we were kind of coming up, it was like guys, for the most part, were dropping off 40, 45. Now you got guys hitting 50 on the regular. Shohei's done it 2 years in a row. Judge has done it probably the last 4 years in a row. Schwarbs is getting into the mix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like when you're seeing guys now, especially, so you're the perfect person to ask in this situation because you were there when Jimmy and I were still there. We were the older guys then.
Yeah,
you were the young pup coming in, right? So from the pitching,
I heard that.
The pitching. Well, I'm right there with you, Jay. This is like, hey, but the pitching from when you came in to where the pitching is now, right? You got to face Savage, you got to face Mizrachi, like all those guys from when you first came in. Because your first homer was off of Roy, wasn't it? Halliday, not too shabby.
Yeah,
that's something to put in the books.
I was there for that.
Yeah,
I was there for that one. I watched it. But what is your take from when you see a guy, when you face a Roy Halladay, to where you're seeing the Mizorowskis, the Savages, and the guys that you're facing in today's game?
Yeah, so I think the difference is there's a lot more guys that pitch like Roy, not were Roy. You know, like they were cutting it, sinking it, throwing curveballs, getting you off. Kind of almost like I view Yamamoto kind of like Roy in the sense of how he could pinpoint a ball, his command. He was setting up hitters. Obviously, you know, Yamamoto's 97 to 99 and all that stuff. And I faced Roy at the end more of like 91 to 94. And, you know, I didn't get him early on, but it's a lot of throwing now. And I think that's the key that I've learned as I've gotten older is not swinging at that 1-0 heater that's on the inside corner blacked. It's okay to take that pitch and wait for them to miss their next spot and miss 3 inches out over the plate, and then that's my honey hole where I can just shoot that into the gap. So I think it's you got to know who you're facing. You know, like facing Yamamoto, maybe you shoot for that 1-0 heater in or that 1-0 cutter in and try and shoot him down the line and take the shot because you're not going to get many pitches to hit. And I think it's just different from when I came up. There's a lot more sink cuts, curves, change ups. Now it's four seam up, you know, and get above the barrel and pop that up, and then curveballs down below. The splitters are coming into the game now. So I think it's just you got to adapt, and then obviously the velocity has gone up so much in the last few years, and now you call them mop-up guys. They're just young guys that haven't really established themselves coming out of the bullpen throwing 98 to 100. I'm like, we're up by 7. Where's the 91 with sink? Like, that was what we were facing 15 years ago. That just doesn't happen anymore. So I think it's just like if you guys were playing now, you guys would adapt to it, and you like that's just how it is. You just get used to the velocity, and you're seeing it over and over again. But in the span of 16 years, I would say maybe you would count the one guy coming out of the bullpen throwing 95 to 98 when I came up in 2010, and now it's every guy. So the game has changed, and you know sometimes it's like we want the guys to throw as hard as they can. So now they're going full velocity for 2 years, and they blow out. You know, and then you know you kind of feel bad for it because it's almost like next man, who's going to be the next guy to throw 100? And they're all throwing 100 now, and so much TrackMan's behind them, and like spin rate, and this is like, well, your slider's only spinning 2100. Let's see if we can spin it 24. So now you're throwing it even harder, and it's more torque on your elbow. So it's different from now than it was back in the day because everyone was just trying to hit spots when we were first coming up, when I first came up, and now it's just let's blow them away, and it's different. It really is. And as you get older, that fastball looks harder and harder and harder.
Do you change your bat? Do you change your bat at all, or you keep the same? I
have used the same bat for 17 years. Same model, same weight, same length. I have never changed. It has been the 34-32 cupped CB15, Carlos Beltran's model. I have never changed. It's kind of like an I-13 barrel with a little thicker handle. It's been balanced for me. Even in August in Atlanta when I was playing there, even I was so tired, it's just something when you pick it up and you're like, this just feels good, you know, like, and I've never changed weight.
There's probably a good chance Chase probably held your bat and probably has a model too.
For sure. For sure.
Chase probably has a
lot of people
Freeman
grab
model.
my bat and they're like, ew, you know, and hand it back to me. You know, there's so many guys that's bats. I'll pick up and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then like give it back to them. They leave. I'm like, that was terrible feeling, you know, like it's weird how some people's bats are like Shohei's bat's huge, you know, like, and like he swings it like a toothpick, and I would never be able to swing it like him. So there's like, it's weird, different bats for different people.
What's he swing?
I think it's like a 35. I never really looked at the weight. It's heavier than mine because I can't. You know, it felt like I was swinging a.
Hey, he's in that SUV range, young James. I told you,
I was going.
Sometimes you got to take the family. So my bat was a 35-34. So Shohei, that explains a lot.
And that explains
a lot.
30 rows to left center homers that you hit.
Look, Freddie, I'm like you. I was convinced. You know, I say within 2 bats of R225, and that a hybrid. It was a I can't remember what it was called, but I switched over to Max 4, so the R225 and a Max 4. Those are my two bats, 33.5, 30.
Was that for
31
left-handed
ounces.
and right-handed, or did you switch bats
Yeah,
from
that's
left-handed to right-handed? Okay.
The same bat. I tried to mirror myself. And then there was one point where I was struggling, and Ryan would always come up to me, hey, you need to take that family vehicle out for, got to get rid of that sports car, take the SUV out. And he convinced me to swing his 35, 34-inch bat. That took a month in batting practice. The first 3 or 4 days I used it, I don't think I hit a ball out the cage. And everybody's looking at me crazy. And I'm like, well, I'm going to stick with it because I see what happened when a bat's in his hand. One day I was finally able to get, a feel for it. We were facing the Marlins. I think I was 2 for 3. I was feeling real good. Just one of the blowout games, just kind of put up some big runs. And somebody on the mound, I always heard Tony Gwynn say that the harder a guy throw, using a bigger bat is easier. It's just, he's just trying to get it from A to B. There's no movement. He's just trying to gas you up, and it's about timing. I took Ryan's big bat up there, got a 3-0 count, and I always look at Charlie because I love hitting 3-0, and Charlie be like, make that bell ring, son. So I'm trying to make that bell ring. He threw a 3-0 fastball, and I hit, and I knew it was gone, but because of the way it felt, but it was like a low-line drive that hit a different gear, and I'm like, oh, my God. And I was convinced. So I'm not saying to change your bat because it's worked for you. You're an MVP, and look, I'm done. But I'm saying that if you ever got to a point where it's like, let me try something different in a blowout game, grab Shohei's bat, and maybe you'll understand.
If he lets me.
Yeah.
So if he lets me. Shohei, I need your bat, man. Just shatter the thing.
One of his extras. He's one of his extras over there.
There it is. He'll never know.
That's true.
Right?
Probably not.
No, he probably wouldn't know. He'd probably never know. But no, man, that's an interesting point I think that you bring, because we talk about it a lot of the times with the pitching from yesteryear to today's game, and we've had Pedro Martinez on and talking about like how guys don't necessarily pitch, right? They throw.
They're throwing.
To where guys, when you first came in, guys are trying to really locate and hit spots and weren't afraid to throw in, not necessarily trying to hit guys, but weren't afraid to hit guys to try to establish themselves on both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool take to be able to have your perspective from then to now.
Yeah.
He said, look, we have the best roster in baseball. And I think he's right. And he said, we just haven't played very well. If they can find the mistakes that they made along the way and fix them and take the leftover starters that they have, Emmett Sheehan and Roki Sasaki, and use them out of the bullpen to fix that problem, I still think this is an exceptionally good team if they play to the roster potential that they have. Am I giving the Dodgers too much credit, Buster?
No, I think you're giving the exact credit that they deserve and they've earned. As one general manager said to me, when the postseason hits, it's like the Dodgers' DNA will kick in. I think that part of their slog through the regular season is boredom. You play in so many meaningful games year after year after year. You need the bright lights. I think they're going to respond to that. The big question is the 8th and 9th inning.
Yeah, the bullpen. I watched this series against Seattle this last weekend. Roki Sasaki, it's only 2 games, 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. Are they going to use him in a high leverage situation? Could you go 99, then that split? He could be a high leverage guy. And Blake Trinan, terrible year, but suddenly that sweeper, cutter, slider, whatever that pitch is, a lot of movement. The question, though, Tanner Scott, we still haven't seen enough from him. Is he going to be the closer? Because he's had a tough year.
Right, but I think we learned from the Dodgers last year. Dave Roberts used 2 openers in the league championship series and 1 in the World Series, and they still found a way to win it. I think they're going to be just as creative on how to use that bullpen using the starters in relief roles, and I think they'll find a way. Will Smith is a key coming back. He's as tough as any guy there is. I'm not positive he's going to play in the wild card series, but once he comes back, that lineup is going to be complete. And when that's a complete lineup, it's the best one in the National League.
And this guy Shohei's pretty good too, huh?
Right. Again, Shohei rises to the occasion like like almost no one I've ever seen. So today, on the last day of the season, a largely unimportant game for them, he breaks the Dodger record for home runs in a season with 55, of course, which he held at 54. Should we not be amazed anymore?
55 home runs. He's going to start game one. No, we still can't wrap our minds around just how unbelievable this guy is.
I agree. He's the greatest player we've ever seen.
Right. And if he does start game one, let's say he does, you know how good Yamamoto has been the second half of the season? Paul Skeens the only pitcher with a lower ERA the second half than Yamamoto, and he is a perfectionist of the highest order. I was told he's always looking for the perfect throw, meaning every pitch has to be perfect for him. And they've told him, look, quality is more important than perfection. And if they can ever get him to think, I don't have to be the most precise man on every single pitch, I think he'll be even better, which is really saying something.
There's an argument to be made that the ball should go to Snell. There's an argument to be made that the ball should go to Yamamoto in that spot. But Ohtani's stature on this team reminds me of Larry Bird back in the 80s when they would go into a timeout and Casey Jones would draw up a play and Bird would say, forget about it, just give me the ball and get out of the way. Right. That's kind of what Ohtani's relationship is when decisions on the Dodgers. He tells them what he wants to do and the Dodgers go, yes, sir. Just to be clear, the writers have to turn in their votes in the next 24 hours, right?
I will be doing mine tonight.
Right.
I'm voting on the National League MVP.
So the postseason doesn't matter at all.
Right. Nor should it, because if you're on a bad team, you should not be punished because you played on a bad team. So I think that's the right way to do it. Now, the National League MVP, well, I'm not going to talk about this because I'm voting, and I don't think you should be telling everyone who you're going to vote for because that takes away from the drama of the middle of November when the announcement is made. Am I wrong about this?
Dave, can I tell you something? Tim hasn't told me who he's voting for. He's voting for Shohei Ohtani.
We know, right?
Yeah.
There's one guy who's ever won 2 unanimous MVPs, and I think he's going to win number 3 unanimously.
All right, so I agree.
Don't say it, Tim. You got to
Don't
keep
say
it
it. We're not
secret.
saying it. I'm just telling Dave he's voting for Ohtani because he's such a great offensive player and he's such a great pitcher.
All right, 54 homers for Kyle Schwarber.
Yep.
Unquestioned leader, maybe the best leader in baseball on the second best team in the major leagues. Does anybody vote for Kyle Schwarber? It's okay to say no.
Yeah,
No.
you know, in some years, yes, but when it's 2 guys who are DHs and Ohtani's numbers are just a little better and he pitched, I don't see how you can vote for Schwarber, as important as he was to the Phillies.
Well, and we know, too, I mean, Kyle is a great teammate. He's a leader of that franchise. There's an argument to be made that right now the Phillies are the best team coming out of the regular season in baseball. He might get a sprinkling of votes, 1 or 2 first-place votes, but I mean, Ohtani's going to win overwhelmingly.
So a guy
in part because of Tim's support.
Yes.
A guy with the Dodgers told me, he just shook his head and he goes, I can't believe how good this guy is. He says every day he comes to the clubhouse, he is there to be the greatest player that we've ever seen, meaning his preparation, that every day he shows up, he's designed to be the best I can possibly be today. Let's face it, there are other guys who show up and maybe they're not ready to be the best player on the field today. This guy is always ready, and that is his secret. Does that sound right?
Yeah, look, as a kid, we grew up, you're reading about Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb and Lou Gehrig and Ted Williams, and you wondered, what was it like to watch those guys play? We've been able to watch a guy who's, in my opinion, better than those guys. As you said, Buster, he's the greatest baseball player ever.
And it's not even close. And you love to hear the stories about his devotion to the game. He's not a superstar who's distracted by doing this or doing that. Everybody who plays with him says that he cares about baseball more than any. He just, as you said, shows up early every day, does his work, gets prepared. It's why he's earned the right to tell the Dodgers what he wants to do on a given day.
I read a lead about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever. Shohei Ohtani pitched five no-hit innings in a game in which he hit his 50th home. Just think about those two sentences going together. No one's ever had those two sentences put together. Last thing, Buster, the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber's free agent at the end of the year. I know they're going to try to re-sign him.
Oh, yeah.
No Zach Wheeler. Where are the Phillies? We know they're really good. How good are they?
I think they're the best all-around team, okay? I mean, obviously, losing Wheeler is a huge factor. You're talking about a guy with a 1.12 postseason ERA. But Trey Turner's back. He was able to play in the final weekend, wrap up the batting title in the National League. You know, we'll see how Christopher Sanchez does, Ranger Suarez. Aaron Nola has been better in his most recent starts. I still think, from top to bottom, it's the best overall team.
All right. Before we go, Buster, would you please explain what this is? I was told this is a potato.
What do you mean you were told? I grew that potato at our house, at our garden. I'm very proud of this. I'm giving this to Taylor Schwenk. I've got a bag of potatoes. You held it up like it was some...
It's hard as a rock. I've never seen a baked potato that is this hard. How did you grow it?
Okay.
In the ground, I
Right,
presume.
I put it in the ground, and you put the eye up toward the sky, eye to the sky, and it grew, and we have a ton of them. And if I had known you were just... Right.
All right, it's just a little hard. Did you bake this or do you slice it up? Because if you slice it up, you're going to need a jackhammer.
I brought it out of the
that.
ground yesterday. What are you talking about? Give me the potato.
All right, Buster, I'm sorry. I just didn't grow up on a farm like you did, so I don't know these things.
I think this feels like the heart of Mets fans right now.
Oh,
Hard and sad.
That's too bad.
Hi, Shohei. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? What time did you get to bed? And did you feel any differently today on the mound than you do during a normal start?
何時間寝れたと何時に寝たかと
何時間ですか2時ぐらいにベッドには行きました。はい。まあそれなりに睡眠は取れましたし、昨日はまあ長い試合でしたけど、はい。まあなるべく寝れるようには努めました。
Slept at 2 a.m. Felt pretty good about being able to have quality sleep, and yeah.
And then did you felt about the same as you normally do during a start?
そうですね。はい。体調というかまあそれなりの体調ではマウンドには行くことができたので、はい。
Yes, I was able to get on the mound in pretty good condition.
About 6 rows back in the right center, Fabian.
Yeah, Shohei, why do you think you guys as an offense maybe haven't quite been able to click in October quite like you were able to during the regular season?
10月打線がなかなか打てない中、何か理由はありますかと。
どうですか、まあポストシーズンはもちろん対戦するピッチャー、素晴らしいピッチャーばかりですし、まあそのチームの中でもいいチームの中でもいい投手たちがまあもちろん投げてはくるので、なかなかこう数字上はまあ差が出やすいというか、そういうことはあるかなとは思いますけど、その中でまあみんながチームの方針としてやるべきことをしっかりできれば最低限のヒットの中で得点できるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
We're facing quality arms this time of the year against really good teams, and we're facing the top of the best of the best. So I think it's not that easy, but at the same time, we could do at least the bare minimum, and to be able to put up some runs.
2 rows behind the last, Bill.
I know last night was a weird game because of all the intentional walks, but generally, what are the differences that you find in how teams pitch you when the guys ahead of you get on base as opposed to tonight when they don't get on base?
まあ敬遠も昨日はありましたけども、その走者がいる中いない中での相手のピッチャーの攻め方っていうのはちょっと違うと思うんですけど、何か感じたりしてましたか？
まあそれはポストシーズンに限らず、ランナーがいる場面いない場面、まあどこにランナーがいるかによっても多少こう変わってはくるのかなと思いますけど、基本的にはまあシーズン中から何回も言ってますけど、まあストライクを振る、ボールを見逃すっていう、まあシンプルにそれさえできればどんな球が来てもストライクを打つことはできるので、まあどんな試合でもやることは基本的には変わらないかなと思ってます。
Regardless of postseason or regular season, I think when there's guys on base versus not on base, you're just going to see just different ways of being attacked. But my approach is pretty simple. I swing at strikes and don't swing at balls. And that's how I evaluate myself.
Standing against the left wall, Joel.
When your team uses as many pitchers in as long a game as last night, does the start today feel any different for how much length you feel you have to give and quality you have to give?
特に昨日の試合の中で中継ぎ使われている中、今日はちょっと長いイニング投げないといけないっていうのは感じてました。
それはもちろんそうですね。それはレギュラーシーズンもそうです。ポストシーズンで昨日みたいに、なかなかあれぐらい長い試合ってのはないとは思いますけど、スターティングピッチャーとしては、最低でも6回、今日はもちろん7回まで投げ切れれば一番良かったですけど、そこができなかったのが悔やまれるところかなと思います。
Yes, I did. Whether that's during the regular season or the postseason, my goal is to be able to pitch 6 innings, and in this situation, this game, I wanted to go 7. And it was regrettable that I wasn't able to finish that inning.
Do 2 more in English. Dave, on your left.
Shohei, while you've been a pitcher and hitter many times before, you've never done it in this type of high-intensity 24-hour span that you had with the long game in the previous night. Was it more challenging than you thought, body-wise, coming back? Was it different than you thought it might be, and how challenging maybe was that for you today?
二刀流の経験してましたけども、今回のシチュエーションで延長戦もあって結構きつい経験でしたか？
そうです。経験という意味では素晴らしい経験ができたかなとは思ってますけど、もちろん今日勝てなかったことに対しても反省、次回どこになるか分かんないですけど反省点が必要かなとは思いますし、ウィルもね昨日18回キャッチャーとして最後まで出てるのも素晴らしいですし、全員が素晴らしいゲームを昨日やって、今日はね負けてしまいましたけど、いいことも悪いことも切り替えて明日の1試合にまずは集中したいなと思ってます。
Although we did lose the game, I thought I had a productive experience being able to experience this situation. I mean, looking at guys like even Will Smith, who caught every single inning out of that 18 inning, I think it was really impressive to see. So we just have to, turn the page and focus on the next game.
We'll finish up in English in the first row here on your right.
From his view, what went wrong on the sweeper on the home run pitch to Guerrero? And then turning around, what made it as a batter so difficult facing Bieber for him today?
スイーパーの秋。
やっぱりスポットが良くなかったなっていう明らかな失投ではあるので、悔やまれる一球だったなっていうのは結果論からするとその通りかなと思ってます。
Obviously, looking back in hindsight, it was just a regrettable pitch, something that I wish I could have taken back. It was just a bad spot, bad location.
Go to Japanese.
い
や素晴らしかったですね。もちろんポストシーズンの中で投げてるスポットも良かったですし、端っこのねストライクゾーンの周りのピッチングっていうのが素晴らしかったんじゃないかなと思ってます。
Yeah, Bieber pitched really well. He attacked, really at the edge and was able to execute location-wise.
Take a few questions Japanese. The third row on your right, Shohei.
お願いします。昨日あれだけの試合をやって今日、どれだけ疲労があった中で試合に入ったかっていうのと、投手としては、今日第4戦投げましたけども、万が一この後競った場合には投手としての準備を進めていくかどうかっていうのを教えてください。
そうです。昨日はしっかりケアして、それなりに試合の後に、時間も取ってちゃんとケアをして入れたので。さっきも言いましたけどなかなかあれだけ長い試合をやった後に先発っていうのはあることではないですけど、その中でも今日こうやっていい状態で試合に臨めたのも、昨日ねいろいろサポートしてくれた人たちのおかげかなと思ってます。
あとこれから投手の調整というのは
そうですね。投げる可能性としては、どこぐらいまで持てるかによるとは思いますけど、もちろん全試合必要であれば準備したいですし、昨日みたいにね延長戦に入ってなかなか決まらない試合もあると思うので、いつでもいけるようには準備したいなと思ってます。
Go to the third row on your left, Shohei.
お疲れ様です。今日グラブサイドに引っ掛けるようなフォーシームが多くて、この時っていうのは通常気持ちと体の動きが若干ずれている時にそういう話、そういうことがあるという話を昔されたんですけども、今日、さっきから何か出てますけども、昨日18回9出塁、 そこの部分と体の動き、それから疲労も含めて、で最後の失投、グレーロの失投も含めてその辺のバランスはいかがでしたか、今日は。
昨日の試合がどうのこうのっていうのは特に言うつもりはないですけど、単純になんですかね、自分の動き、技術的な動きの部分がブルペンの時から良くなかったので、もちろんそういう試合は数多くありますし、そういう時にどうするかという話なので、その中でも6回まではある程度いい粘れる状態では投げてはこれたので、やっぱ7回の2人が先頭も含めて、そこがやっぱり一番悔やまれるところかなと思ってます。
We'll stay in the same row, Shohei, to your left.
お願いします。昨日の延長11回の時に足を伸ばす仕草があって痙攣したというふうに聞いているんですけれども、その足の状態と今日への影響、今日はとても暑くて、水分補給とかもたくさんされてたと思うんですけど、今日の登板への影響とか、再発しないような対策とかそういうのも含めてお願いします。
そうですね、脱水症状気味ではあったので、睡眠時間もあまり取れないというか短い中で、少しまたするんじゃないかなという不安はありましたけど、幸いにも最後までそういうことはなかったので、良かったんじゃないかなと思います。
Two rows behind the last one, Shohei.
第4戦の先発が決まって、ワールドシリーズの先発1回だけってなった瞬間にワールドシリーズの最後の優勝する瞬間にマウンドに立ってるイメージっていうのはどれくらいありましたか？今までしてましたか？
最後の優勝ということですか？
はい、最後のマウンドに立ってるイメージみたいなのってしたことはあったりしますか？
そうですね、基本的にそれはクローザーの仕事ではあるので、今はもちろん朗希が務めてますし、そこまでまずみんながつなげていけるのがベストなシナリオじゃないかなと思うので、特に第何戦に投げるとかっていうことではなく、自分が与えられたその試合の先発の中で、自分がしっかりと仕事をできれば、最後は誰がマウンドに立っててもそこは関係ないのかなと思ってます。
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。今回の動画はいかがでしたか？あなたのご意見やご感想をぜひコメント欄で教えてください。当チャンネル MLB スタジオジャパンはこれからも MLB や大谷翔平選手の最新情報やニュースを翻訳して皆さんにお届けしてまいります。活動の励みになりますので、チャンネル登録や高評価での応援をよろしくお願いいたします。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。